aka Lady D. I'm in a little shaded area, but I can still see you. I hope you can see me. Okay, I'm all right. I'm not out in the sunshine. Actually, we don't have no sunshine today. It's trying to sprinkle some rain, but it's all good. But anyway, I wanted to stop by and just kind of, talk a little bit about mature men and women, I would say over the age of 40, that decide to remain single. You know, they have chosen to be by themselves because, of course, they've had life experiences that may have just put them in that mindset. Some become bitter, some become unforgiving, some become very cautious of the fact that if I give too much at this stage of my life, I have too much to lose. So they hold on to their hearts and not want to really give of love in that way, to commit to someone. So they become, they stay in a single state. Some even go around and become risque and just have quite a few friends and things that they do, situationships, I call them, because that keeps them safe, but it brings on a whole lot of other issues too. But is it anything wrong at a mature state? Some will look at the fact that, you may meet someone and they're single, and say they're 45, 50 years old. And the first thing someone wants to do is judge that. Why you still single? Why you ain't married? Why you ain't got no, why somebody look as good as you by themselves? Oh, it must be something wrong with her. Oh, it must be something wrong with him. Got to be something wrong with them because they chose to be single. And I'm here to tell you today, no, it's nothing wrong with someone that make those particular choices, but make sure you're making those choices for you and not out of bitter seeds or in a way that, you just you all of a sudden want to be a pimp or a pimpette because you was done wrong a few times. Perhaps this is just not the season for you to commit. Some people have business obligations, they have job obligations, they have traveling obligations, they're artists, they have entertainment obligations, and some just don't have the time to invest in the way they would want to with a relationship. So they make choices. It has nothing to do with them being hurt. It has nothing to do with them being scared. It's just that at this season in their life, they know they can't give to a relationship what's really needed. Now, some will say, they will beg to differ. They'll say, well, if you meet somebody that you have a true connection with and that you're truly feeling, you are going to want to fall in. And they should be supportive of what you're doing or what you're trying to do, and vice versa. That's what some would say. But you have to look at the fact that depending on what that person is obligated to, say like if they travel a lot or if they work long hours or, things of that nature, they can't, and you're the type that like to plan spontaneous rendezvous, getaways and trips and things of that nature with your mate, but they're not able to give and partake of that like that on especially spur of the moment stuff, because they have other things that's just falling. So you have to be really flexible in your understanding. And a lot of relationships struggle because of quality time, because of communication, because of finances. So if you're the type where you hunger for that you need that for your mate, then perhaps getting involved with someone early on that's not on that relationship status or page is not for you. You cannot change someone's perception or decision or direction if they are at that point. This is why it's important to have the communication up front on the table as to what you're looking for and what you want at this stage. And it does not mean that is anything wrong with you or is anything wrong with that person. They could be one of the best people you've met in a long time that you really want to go there with, but you would have to sacrifice a lot of things that you're doing to do that. So you make choices to hopefully be able to continue a good friendship with this person. And then once you've calmed down with some things in your life, then perhaps, if they're still single and available, then you guys can revisit that. So again, I ask you, what is it that is absolutely wrong with at a mature season stage in life with wanting to stay single? Now, some are single not by choice. They had a bad rap. They may have had boom, 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 4, 5 relationships in a row that was just terrible. And here they go again on the single course. They don't want to be single, but that's what's happening. So they may be 50, 55 years old and still ain't got a boo, 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 a in it to win it type of thing. They have people that they are involved with as far as good friendship, good company, good grown folk talk, that type of thing, but they haven't felt a good fit to move forward with a person. And so in that case, especially if you've gotten to a point where you have grown and matured and love yourself, you love yourself, so you're not willing to just settle, because some will settle in for whatever they can get. Just because all their friends is got somebody, just because it's the holiday time, just because it's their birthday time, just because it's the summertime, just because it's party time, whatever. They want them a man or a woman, right? So they'll just settle for whoever comes their way, and that's going to give them what they're looking for. And a lot of times that's not really the right person for you. And you got involved with them on a serious note for the wrong reasons. We talked before about the opportunists. You know what I'm saying? So you have got to love yourself enough to be more, I don't want to use the word picky, but you have got to be more selective. When you love you, you know your wants, needs, desires. You know what rocks your boat. You know what floats you on the waves, right? So don't settle for anything less. You know your self-worth. Like I said, the two self-worths come together and complement one another. So if there are major things that you need to complement you, don't settle for anything less. A person can't sit up and tell you what they're going to do. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, gonna do. But I ain't doing it now. No. No. If they not showing you that they a duck and they quacking at right now, then most likely they're not a duck and gonna quack, right? So even if they give you the illusion that they look like a duck, they may even smell like a duck and talk like a duck, but they really are not acting and don't appear to be in the duck family, you need to pay attention to that. You need to pay attention to that. Don't settle. So again, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, even 70 and up. If you have made the choices to be single for now because of other obligations, woo, that's what you got to do. Just communicate that, lay it on the table. You may find somebody that's on the same page as you, and it'll be okay. Okay. But if you are in a single mode at those different age ranges, and it's not by choice, but you're being very selective because you know at this mature stage in life what you want, how you want it, who you want it, then woo, hats off to you too, because you don't have to settle. So that was laid on my heart today to give that message. Somebody needed to hear that. Somebody needed to be reminded of that. Don't chase things just because your clock is ticking. I know, I remember, when you're in your late 20s, early 30s, a lot of women in that age frame, I gotta hurry up and get married because I want to have some babies. I ain't had no babies in a minute. I ain't gonna be able to have no babies. And they just rush, rush, rush and get into things because they want to have some babies. And a lot of times they got the wrong baby daddies. Wrong baby daddies. Oh Lord. But you feel like your clock is tick, tick, tick. Look, in this day and age, there's women having babies in their 40s. For real, 45 deep. Some close to 50. So, you know, you ain't got to rush it just to be. You wait until it's the right season and the right time. Some go through life and never have any children. And that may be by choice. And unfortunately, if it's not, God bless them. It's just things has happened where they can, and they can adopt or do other things. Okay. So don't just fall into some trap because you feel like your clock is ticking. Let me go on and take this. Okay. In your 20s and your 30s. But 40 and up, you have got to be selective. First off, you don't have 10, 20, 30 times to redo this. When you're in your 20s, early 20s, late 20s, maybe even early 30s, you be thinking like, okay, well, if this ain't right, I'll just move to the next. And every other year you're doing something different. But when you become older, it's like, okay, I can't just keep doing this ping pong back. My blood pressure going high, my heart palpitating, my head hurt. I got situations. I got to get it right. And nobody's perfect. And we can't say 100% when you choose that one for life. Because sometimes you think you chose that one for life and you end up finding out that you chose the wrong one for 10 minutes. Okay? But you already said I do. Now you stuck until you can get out. And it's harder to get out of it than it was easy to get into it. Okay? So just think about that before you just be running to the chapel just because you think your clock ticking. But somebody need to hear that. Hey, I'm glad everybody's doing well. Continue to stay positive. Continue to love yourself. I can't say that enough. When you have loved yourself and can hold on to what's important and needed for you, everything else will fall into place. Trust me when I tell you that. Have a good day. Donna Smith here. See y'all soon.